The Denver Broncos just pulled off the kind of finish people tell stories about for years. 33 points in one quarter, a stadium shaking, and a final kick that froze time. On a day that honored champions and a legend, the team turned doubt into noise and climbed to first place in the AFC West. Say it out loud. 33 points in the fourth. And feel how wild that sounds. This was not luck. This was belief catching fire. Here's the twist that changes everything. The comeback was not one magic play. It was a chain reaction. Justin Sternad flips the field. Bo Nix takes command. Marvin Mims and Courtland Sutton make grown man catches. Will Lutz nails the moment. The number that seals it is just as crazy. 275 yards in the fourth, which tells you the offense did in minutes what some teams hope to do in a half. That is identity forming in real time, the kind of surge that can tilt a season. But what nobody is talking about enough is how close this story came to dying before it started. Through 3 quarters, the air felt heavy, the clock felt cruel, and people headed for the exits. So how did it all flip from silence to shock in a blink? Stay with me because the pressure that built early is exactly why the explosion hit so hard next. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Broncos and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 200 likes on this video. Nobody expected the Denver Broncos to feel this trap this fast. New York squeezed the field and the clock, turning every snap into a test of patience. Jackson Dart kept finding answers, Cam Skattebo kept moving the chains, and a tipped throw to Theo Johnson pushed it to 26-8. The building went quiet, not from doubt alone, but from the sense that the game was slipping into a slow freeze. The offense could not find rhythm. Screens were sniffed out, perimeter blocks missed, and deep shots never synced. Penalties stacked in the worst moments, and the math turned ugly as New York collected 7 first downs by penalty. The flow tilted with long Giants drives that bled time and tested the defense's stamina. It felt like a stare down with the scoreboard where every minute cut a little deeper. But the shocking part is how one moment can flip the air in a stadium. All they needed was a sudden change to steal the field back and a call that trusted the quarterback's legs and nerve. The question is simple. What broke the seal? Who delivered it? And how did it ignite everything that followed? Everything shifted the instant Justin Sternad read the eyes, jumped the route, and flipped the field. That takeaway did more than steal a possession. It cracked open the door for belief. The sideline lit up, the noise returned, and you could feel the game tilt as the clock suddenly looked like an ally instead of a wall. Sean Payton leaned into that jolt with a bold call, a designed keeper that let Bo Nix attack straight ahead. Nix hit the crease, finished through contact, and the stadium roared like a jet engine. From there, the rhythm took off. Marvin Mims dragged a third and long back from the edge. Troy Franklin hauled in a tipped ball for 6. Courtland Sutton won late down the boundary, and Will Lutz buried the kick with ice in his veins. It was not one hero. It was a surge of connected moments that stacked on top of that first theft. The hidden lesson is simple. Aggression created flow. The Broncos stopped waiting for something good, they forced it. And the Giants could not slow the tempo once it started. So the question becomes this. What exactly changed in the plan that unlocked quick strikes and clean lanes? And how can that approach carry into a full game? The shift started with pace and space. The Broncos snapped quickly, spread the field, and let Bo Nix read clean pictures. Short throws to move the chains set a rhythm, then shots came off the same look. The ball came out on time, receivers attacked open grass, and the Giants lost their grip on leverage. It felt simple by design, yet it kept creating stress on every snap. The ground game became the engine. J.K. Dobbins cut with purpose, pressed the edge, and forced safeties to cheat forward. Once the box tightened, play action opened lanes for crossers and seams. The line carried the weight. Garrett Bowles steady on the blind side, Mike McGlinchey sealing the alley on the quarterback keeper, Alex Paljowski climbing to the second level to spring the longest burst. The number that tells the story is this, 142 rushing yards, because that balance pulled the defense in 2 directions. Targets stacked impact instead of empty touches. Evan Engram found pockets in the middle. Marvin Mims flipped field position on third and long. Troy Franklin turned a deflection into gold. Courtland Sutton won a late isolation that set up the kick. Everything connected because the call sheet stopped chasing perfection and started chasing pressure. Now the tension shifts to the other side. Could the defense carry that same edge while the clock and flags tried to tilt the game? The Giants threw punches all night, and the Denver defense kept getting up. The front found its teeth when it mattered, stacking pressure until the pocket shrank. The numbers tell the edge without killing the story. 10 quarterback hits and 4 sacks. And a stubborn mark on money downs. 6 of 15 on third down. Every stop bought time for the comeback to breathe. Coverage survived the storm. Patrick Surtain II erased space so well that throws avoided his side. Riley Moss battled through tough moments, stayed patient at the catch point, and kept competing even when a call went against him. Brandon Jones flew downhill, nearly grabbed the late takeaway, and still finished the game strong. At the second level, Alex Singleton cleaned up lanes while Dre Greenlaw flashed in his snaps with speed and contact that lifted the sideline. Credit the adjustment. Vance Joseph mixed pressures, trusted his corners outside, and forced Jackson Dart to hold the ball one tick longer. That tick changed the angles for the rush and tilted the field. Now that the defense proved it can bend and still decide a game, the bigger question rises. What does a night like this mean for a team that just climbed to first place on a day that carried history and heart? The Denver Broncos turned a celebration into a statement. On a day that honored the Super Bowl 50 team and Demaryius Thomas, the game swung from doubt to roar and the city felt alive again. The scoreboard did more than show a 1-point win. It reset belief across the building and reminded everyone what Mile High feels like when hope and noise move together. This win sits in rare company for a reason. Say it plain. 5-2 for the first time in 10 years. And feel what that means after seasons that asked for patience. The fourth quarter avalanche did not erase the flaws, but it did prove the ceiling is higher than talk shows said. When a team stacks 33 points in one quarter and 275 yards in the fourth, you are watching a group discover who it can be when urgency meets trust. That is why the next step matters even more. A surge like this can be a spark, or it can be a launch. Dallas is walking in with stars everywhere and a defense that gives up yards but hunts the ball. If the Broncos are truly building something, how they attack that matchup will tell us. Can the run game control the pace and open deep shots, and can the corners stand up to elite routes? Let us pull the lens forward and scout every angle before the Cowboys step on the field. Dallas tests Denver on both sides. Dak runs a calm, fast attack with CD twisting coverages and Ferguson hitting soft spots. So PS2 must lock down and Riley Moss must finish at the catch point with clean leverage and tackles. On offense, Denver should set the pace with the run, use play action to hit Sutton outside and Mims deep, with Franklin stretching and Engram working seams while avoiding negative plays. Win the margins by kicking away from Cavante Turpin, protecting the ball, playing short fields, using red zone power with Bo Nix in motion, and cutting penalties so the game tilts Denver's way. Start with the finishers. Bo Nix earns a game ball for taking control when the clock squeezed, stacking rushing and passing scores when every snap mattered. Will Lutz gets one for calm under pressure with the kick that sealed the story. Marvin Mims claims another for field-flipping plays that rescued long downs. The trench deserves shine, Garrett Bola's steady in protection, Mike McGlinchey sealing edges, Alex Palkowski climbing to spring runs. The pivot that unlocked belief belongs to Justin Sternad for the takeaway that turned the tide. Carry the right lessons forward. Keep the run as the heartbeat, then layer play action to attack vacant grass. Live clean on early downs so third downs are short and stress stays on the defense. Protect the ball, trust timing, and cut the penalties that hand out free firsts. On defense, squeeze windows outside, rally inside, and make tackles that end drives. Watch the tight end seams, keep communication sharp across the back seven, and let the pass rush arrive one tick quicker as coverage holds its ground. Your turn, Broncos country. What was the single moment that changed your belief? The Sternad pick, the Nix keeper, or the last throw to Courtland Sutton? Which matchup against Dallas worries you most? CeeDee Lamb on the boundary or Jake Ferguson down the seam? Drop your take in the comments, hit like if you felt the stadium shake, and subscribe so you do not miss the full Cowboys breakdown and our keys to victory.